Hey y'all, it's Ash. Today I'm going to be starting a little bit of a series, going to try to make it like vlog type, but because this is the first episode, I wanted to kind of give an introduction, give some background, that sort of thing. So as you can probably tell by the title, we are starting the search for our dream home, our dream farm. We were not expecting to do this anytime soon. We're currently living in our starter home. We had intended to make this a rental property, so it is on the smaller, cheaper side. Still really grateful because I know it's even though you see social media influencers and celebrities getting homes really young, its home ownership is not, I guess, as frequent or as common as it is for people in their early to mid-20s. So super grateful. I don't want to sound ungrateful whatsoever. My husband is such a hard worker and so amazing. I'm so proud of him for what he was able to do so young. But it is not quite what I'm personally used to. I was very blessed growing up, and so we weren't planning on this being our forever home. As grateful and as blessed as we feel, it's not a forever home for us. Plans have kind of shifted over the years. Originally it was, wait 2 years, live in here for 2 years, save really aggressively, then start trying for a kid and moving out, right, to a bigger house. Then we decided to have children a little bit earlier. So then we were like, okay, maybe 1 to 2 kids in this house and then move. And then I don't really remember what triggered this, but a couple weeks ago, we decided to start looking for homes. And then we started the pre-approval process. And during that pre-approval process, we got approved for way more than we expected. And we were like, wow, we can afford our dream farm property now instead of saving for a couple years and then affording it. So yeah, we're starting the process. What we're looking for is 2,000 square feet or more, preferably more, but 2,000 square feet is the absolute minimum. We don't want to go below that, especially, with our family plans. And then we want no less than 2 acres, but again, preferably 5-ish. My husband, I'm wanting the big, huge farm, but my husband's I don't want more than 5. So we're looking for 2 to 5 so I can have the animals that I want, but it's not unmanageable, if that makes sense. And then, so we've toured a few houses. I think I mentioned that we've been looking for a couple weeks. The first house that we looked at, the land was gorgeous. I think it was about 4.5 acres. There was a duck pond. It was just so beautiful, so remote. But the house, as pretty and as modern as it was laid out weird. So typically homes are a little bit more spaced out horizontally. I don't know how to really explain this, in an accurate way, but you usually have 2 floors, 1 or 2 floors, and it's spaced out horizontally. This house was 3 floors, and it was spread out vertically. And it was just really strange, lots of tight corners, small, tight rooms, and it was more than 2,000 square feet, but it felt like 1,000. It was so cramped, and it felt, this house is less than 2,000, and it felt so cramped. So, that was not a house for us, as beautiful as the land was, and our realtor said it was priced high, so we were like, nah. Not really into it. So the second house we looked at, we actually figured out that when we were shopping for this house, and I don't know if I mentioned this, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but this is kind of a less expensive, smaller house, and our intention with this house was to kind of fix it up and then use it as a rental property. I don't know, we can talk about those plans later, but don't know how that's going to go. I know we're going to rent it for a couple years to family, and then after that we're going to decide if we want to rent to other people or sell it, just kind of look at financially what's the best decision at the time. But we were looking at cheap properties, and back in the day, this property sold for less than $150,000. It was in really bad shape, but had 5 acres. And somebody did pick that up and flip it. So we were like, oh my gosh, this is the one we were going to flip. And then somebody else did it, and we toured it, and it was super cheap. And we were just like, nah, and it was listed really, really high, way higher than what it's worth. And we're still kind of watching that. Nobody's bought it, and it's dropping significantly in price. So we are watching it. And if it goes low enough, we may, pick it up and then renovate it, which, that's it's a lot. It's like 2 giant renovations in 2 years, but it is what it is. The third house that we looked at, I'm gonna get emotional about this one. It was perfect. It was Pinterest farmhouse. It was the most beautiful. It was over 2,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms. I think it was like 3 bathrooms, huge detached garage. It was just 3.5 acres surrounded by cornfields. Like, it was remote. It was beautiful. It just, that, white farmhouse with the black metal roof, the wooden brown doors, perfect landscaping, just absolutely gorgeous. Kitchen was updated so nicely. So we offered $21,000 over asking price, and we were called this past Monday morning, and we were told we had the highest offer, and we were like, that's amazing. But the sellers decided to let somebody from out of town, I don't know if it was out of state, but they had taken a virtual tour over the weekend and decided to drive into town to tour it that evening. So we waited all day for them to tour it and make an offer. We get a call from our realtor at like 8 or 9 at night, and he tells us that those people that drove from out of town offered $51,000 over the asking price, which for the area we're looking at, which is obviously in the country, is just so unheard of. And our realtor was like, it's not going to appraise that high. Like, we went $1,000 over what he thought it was going to appraise at. So we're like, what are these people doing? But it's all in God's hands, I keep telling myself, I'm like, that was the 7th offer, so that was clearly like divine intervention, because we would have had that house had those people not come in at the last minute. So that's crazy. We did submit a informal backup offer in case something does happen, because like I said, it's probably not going to appraise that high. So we'll see what happens. We're still waiting to see if that goes through all the way. It probably will, so we're still looking. But that was exactly what we wanted, and it's heartbreak. I cried. My husband was super upset. I was sobbing. It was a horrible, horrible night for us because it was our dream home. But it is what it is. It's God's plan. Moving on. So we revisited that second house I talked about. That was a cheap flipper job, just to see, because it dropped $20,000, I think. And we were like, maybe we can use that and renovate it, And the land is gorgeous. It's really beautiful. But we decided that no, it's not worth it. So then we visited a 4th house that same day, and it was way I think $80,000 below our budget. But it has I think 2.5 acres, and it was a corner lot. So it's on a main road, and then on a slower road, I think it's a highway, and then you turn down the road, so it's on the corner between the highway and the road. And it was really pretty outside, detached garage with a little apartment, space for a pool, nice brick exterior, porch, all that stuff. And then you go inside, and it's clearly not been updated for 50 plus years. So old, so outdated, so creepy. One of the walls was bending. So the wall's supposed to be like this, right? It was like this. It was so bad. And we were like, it was so cheap, but we're like, it would have to drop another $70,000 just to be able to renovate, to get to where our budget is with the renovations. It was so bad. But yeah, so we're gonna look at one tomorrow, and I'll take y'all on that journey. All right, I'll see y'all later. Okay, bye.